Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. It is Tuesday, Tuesday, the 10th of November. Here just for a really quick run through for the potential breakouts for the Forex market session as it begins here in the US in about, 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. So let's jump into it. We're just going to really quickly look at what news is coming up for the day and then talk about the potential breakout opportunities here as the market gets started. All right, so first things first, over here, looking at Forex Factory for potential breakouts, or for breakouts, looking at Forex Factory for our news. We can see we have quite a bit of news through the day today, but nothing that's listed as a high impact event. There's nothing red here for the first part of the day or even kind of through the US session today that would keep us out of the market, meaning some really high, potentially high impact news that could be market moving. I mean, anything could potentially be market moving, right? But there's other things on the horizon that I think are having a bigger impact on us overall. So that gives us clear sailing for looking at tradable opportunities as the market gets started. So what are we looking at as far as tradable opportunities go? Well, starting over here, looking at our Forex indicator, the currency strength indicator, we can see that the pound has definitely been pretty big mover over the course of the session so far, prior to the U.S. session beginning. What that has done for us, though, is many of our pound cross pairs have already moved beyond what their typical ranges would be. So look at the pound CAD, for example. It's moved 180 pips on an average of 145. Not really tradable. Could it move more? I always say that. Yeah, of course it could move more, but we look at the likelihood, right? We're working in odds and probabilities. So we want to look at things that haven't moved, what their typical range would be. And that's going to bring us into these things that are flat over here. So we've got the USD is flat. The CAD is flat. Even the euro at some level is flat. So if we look at the euro versus the CAD, both are below the midpoint right now, so that's not really a tradable opportunity for us. But the euro CAD, we've only moved 68 pips. Let me brag this over here. We've only moved 68 pips for the day, on an average of 90 to 100. So is there opportunity for that one to continue on? In some level, whichever direction that might be, is there opportunity there potentially? Yeah, there is. But we need to see some movement. We can't just start and go just blindly trade it. What we need to see is one of these gaining strength and one of those pushing to weakness, and then that would allow us to determine which direction we'd want to trade. If you wanted just to simply, go over here and put, that's weird. That doesn't look the same way it does on my chart. Anyway, if you wanted to come over here and just trade both directions, you could use the indicator and click on both and go long and short. And when it breaks out of the top, it would be long. If it breaks out of the bottom, you'd be short on it. I'd rather wait just a little bit. Let's give it 10 or 15 minutes and see if we start to see some definitive direction there. The other would be potentially the U.S. versus the CAD. And again, looking over here at the U.S., if we look at the currency strength meter, we can see the U.S. and the CAD both flat. They're both flat. We had a big push down yesterday coming into the U.S. session. There was a sell-off on the USD as a lot of money flowed into the indexes, but then came back out yesterday. Dollar strengthened back. Its money flowed back into the dollar following that announcement. Buy the rumor, sell the fact. Anyway. So we can potentially look in here at U.S. versus CAD as well. The big thing that we're waiting on, though, is to see if we get a push one direction or the other on one of these currencies. So what's on my, and there's even the U.S., the Euro USD, I guess, is another potential opportunity. The U.S. is above the midpoint. The Euro is below the midpoint. The Euro USD's moved about 64 pips. Its average, though, is typically a pretty quiet pairing. Its average is usually only into that mid-70s, maybe low 80s range typically. So I don't think that one has as much opportunity as we would see over here on either the Euro versus the CAD or the CAD versus the USD. I think we've got more opportunity on one or both of those currency pairs. So that's what I'll be watching for the day. for breakouts here. We do need to see some movement though before it really gives us an opportunity to truly get into that trade. We need to see some level of movement where one or one of those currencies or both preferably actually start to diverge from one another. We need that good strong divergence, and when that occurs, that gives us the opportunity to take action and look for that potential breakout opportunity in the direction that those currencies are moving. So for right now, I don't really have a specific trade because there's nothing that's just jumping off. We have pairs that we're watching, but as far as directionality of those, we need to just wait and see if we get some actual definitive direction as the market gets underway here. Sometimes we can come in the morning and we can see, hey, we've got good, we've got a good trend, we've got a good direction leading into this, boom, breakout, right? This morning's not right there. We've got two currencies to watch. Let's watch them. Let's watch the currency strength index, the currency strength meter, and we'll see what happens there, and that will tell us what we should be trading. If anything, if we go for an hour and it just stays flat, shut it down and walk away. That's way more time than you need to be investing in a breakout strategy, especially an opening market breakout strategy, right? So